Broadcasting to you from the heart of northern Minnesota, this is the best fucking music-oriented podcast and web series on all of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Roger Radio Show. I am Roger Radio, certified Mighty Ducks fan.
And I'm Aegis Levity of the Intermission Group.
And I am so hungover right now, dude. It's not even funny. But I'm alright getting back into it anyway, so... Because I've been jonesing really fucking bad. Like, I think I'm having withdrawals, dude. Like, I'm itching inside. I'm itching. Anyway, here's the looking up your old address. Ooh, dude, you know it's gonna be a rampage day today.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another legit album review. But before we get into today's legit album review, the question of the podcast is, what is your favorite music album to come out of the 2020s so far?
For me, it's Antimai by the Deer Hunter.
Which is the subject of today's legit album review. We are covering the Deer Hunter's 2022 album, Antimai. And obviously, I still gotta give my answer. I will say 72 Seasons by Metallica. Has that right attitude that I need to just grab the world by its nuts, twist them around, and drag them around. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to cover today's album, which is the Deer Hunter's album, Antimai. And I will say this, dude. You really gotta give credit where credit's due. I thought the album was good.
Yeah, there's nothing that sounds like that album out there.
Fuck, dude.
Casey, the band leader, he
yeah.
described the music as space funk.
I do love my space-sounding stuff, man. Now, Could you please explain for all of us here what the story of Antimai, or what it's the story that it's surrounding or involving?
All right, so I'll be referring to Genius and to the Deer Hunter's Instagram page during this video.
Yep.
This is on Genius.com. It says, Antimai is the first full-length concept album in the Deer Hunter's new world, The Indigo Child, which was kicked off with a short film, 2 singles, and a soundtrack EP in 2021. This is a completely dystopic world where we see capitalism arriving at its natural conclusion. It is a place where control and inequality have reached unimaginable heights, and greed and exploitation from the upper class is becoming commonplace. Antimai is the final city in this world, the last remaining civilization of humanity. Outside its walls lie the unknown. Whether the rest of this world has been destroyed, made uninhabitable, or hostile is unclear, but the fact remains that all citizens of Antimai are too scared to leave, independent of whatever resources the city offers. The album serves as an atlas of this last metropolis, covering its social hierarchy from the outside in. Depicted in the album cover is the city with its rings, which divide the citizens according to their status in society.
Yeah. I will say this, man, like, when it comes to the dystopian stuff and the capitalism stuff, like, you could, it almost relates back to Radiohead's OK Computer, which was supposed to be set in a dystopian future for at least the world surrounding when that album was made by Radiohead. And then the capitalism part is when you look at Pink Floyd's album Animals, that you could also take that into consideration. Now, obviously, all the information that he just said, we are going to have to go through because there is no Wikipedia page, so we cannot use it. The only thing I do know is that the album was released, I believe, in July of 2022, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and obviously, Casey Crescenzo, I think, was one of the producers, or the producer?
Yep.
Okay. Because I want to make sure that I get my facts straight, because, like I said, I'm kind of going a little naked into this, so to speak, you know? So, because of that, I'm going to let Aegis take the lead on this one here, so. But, obviously, with all the info that you said, Aegis, even considering, like, everything that happened, and with all the topics that we talked about on last week's shows, we obviously wanted to do this album too, or Aegis wanted to do this album and recommend it. So we are here talking about this album because it
Yeah.
fits in with what is going on right now.
Yeah, this album gets more and more relevant as the time comes by.
Fuck, a lot of songs, like even all the protest songs that we were covering last time, pretty much are as relevant today as it was back then.
Yeah, so the city of Antimai is divided into 8 rings. The outermost ring is poverty, ring 7 is industry, ring 6 is LoTown, ring 4 is the middle class, ring 4 is that was ring 5, ring 4 is patrol, ring 3 is luxury, ring 2 is nature, and ring 1, I mean, is the tower.
It keeps throwing. I keep throwing, getting thrown off because like, obviously track one is Ring 8 Poverty, but wouldn't it make more sense if it was just like around? But I think it feels like yeah, the outer rings and then the tower. I feel is like the main inner middle part of the city.
Yeah. So this before this was released, the Deer Hunter did release a short film. We both watched it.
Yeah.
It's basically about a child being taken from the poverty, from Ring 8 poverty, and being brought to, I believe, industry in Ring 7 against his will.
Yeah, I will say this, man. Like the production on that video was actually amazing, dude. It was
Oh yeah.
unbelievable. And I think it was the YouTube channel Dust that uploaded, and it's basically like a sci-fi short film documentary style channel. We will include the link to that video in the description below, and yeah, it did give us a sense of like what's to come and whatnot.
Yeah, and then after the short film, here they released an EP called The Indigo Child, which did a little bit of it introduced the character of the Indigo Child, which is basically like the messiah to these people's religion.
Yeah. And yeah, obviously like it almost felt like a music video was about to come because you hear what actually was ring 4 patrol at the end, that jingle
Yeah.
that starts a patrol and whatnot. I actually thought it was gonna break into a music video for that, to be honest. But yeah, if you look at the logo, it's the cities themselves and the outer rings and inner rings. And it's obviously in the shape of the Illuminati. They pretty much wanted to make it clear the Illuminati is watching us. So, I mean, not that I would know. Not that I would know.
This just in, Roger may or may not be part of the Illuminati.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm sworn to secrecy, so I can't really talk much about it. I'm not at liberty to say about what's going on in the world. But yeah, nevertheless, dude, like the production of that short film was really good, and even with Casey Crescenzo like producing and like directing some of this stuff, it's a fucking insane that he can able to do what he does. It feels like you're listening to progressive rock, but if you watch the films and all that shit, it's like he's trying to delve a little bit into the combination of Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter.
Hmm.
All
right, so let's see. In starting January 9th, they started releasing these little things on their Instagram describing each of the rings. So I'm gonna for each ring, I'm gonna read what they put on Instagram. I'm gonna read what they have on Genius, and I'm going to read the lyrics.
Yeah, I was gonna
Unless you
say
want to do some of the lyrics too.
Yeah, I could read some of the lyrics too, man. Yeah. I was gonna say, if there's like a little video to it, is there a chance that you could mute your phone so that way we avoid copyright?
Yeah. My phone's already muted, so we're good.
All right, beautiful. So that being said, shall we get into the music?
Yeah. So
we are gonna start with Ring 8 Poverty, which is the outer ring.
Yep. They say on Instagram, Antimai, Ring 8, Poverty, wasteland survivors clinging to the last hope of humanity, kept at arm's length by the righteous few within the walls. Power, influence, and comfort passed down like inheritance to those who've done nothing but be born lucky. Outside, countless lives are spent just trying to glimpse the outer gates.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, dude, when it comes to like some of these songs, you know, dude. Like it's like they brought with the rings and whatnot. It's like they broken them into into like different groups, which is almost like what Pink Floyd did with Animals. So I'm not
Hmm.
saying that maybe Antimai may or may not have been inspired by Animals, but it's kind of really insane to think about. Like they're in different groups and whatnot, you know. Like it kind of
Yeah.
feels like it, which I think is pretty cool, you know.
Hmm.
And I actually wouldn't even know if Deer Hunter is like any Pink Floyd fans like we are, you know.
I have no idea.
I mean, it is what it is, but you could see the connection right there, honestly. But even though they're not trying to portray them as animals, they're just portraying them as like the different levels of society that we even deal with today. So,
Right. And then here's what it says on Genius about it.
all
The
right, go
first
ahead.
song of the album, Ring 8, describes the outermost of the rings in the fictional city of Antimai. Technically not even a ring, it encompasses everything beyond the seventh wall of the city, but a rough circumference formed by the treacherous crater walls and cliffs outline the slums and neighborhoods of this eighth ring. Its inhabitants are subject to deep poverty and horrible living conditions, the people constantly suffering from hunger and drought. And yet, through their faith in the Indigo Child, the prophesied Messiah of their religion, they humbly and passively remain outside Antimai's walls, waiting for the child to come and take their pain away.
Hell yeah, man. Does cut a little deep right there, man. I
Yeah,
wonder, sometimes when it comes to some of the storytelling, I wonder what's going on in Casey Crescenzo's mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
All
He
right.
sounds like he could be like kind of a philanthropist, if you ask me. Alrighty, so do you want to start with the lyrics or shall I?
Uh, if you
Uh,
want to go, you can.
all right, I'll start us off here then. Here's how the lyrics go. It goes as follows. It says Indigo like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times, a dozen times. So it's like, I'm just gonna give a quick listen. I do love the bongo drumming that's going here, you know.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you hear the fucking xylophone going. Like, god damn it, dude, are you fucking serious? Did they steal that from a Tarkus or something like that, man? Oh my god. But I do love the lyric. I do love like how his singing is. It sounds in sync, or in a chanting kind of way or whatever, you know. All right, so it goes like this. One kind met with a great divide, whilst prescribed the worth of a bloodline. Antimai had forgotten what it was created for. Outside, life has a different plight, where chance invites bereavement of every kind. Antimai, don't get too attached to who you get to know. Jesus Christ, that actually was cutting deep right there. That was like the fucking
Yeah.
relationship between the mother and the son right there, actually. It felt like it
Hmm.
referenced. Like, jeez. Dead zone, and we're far, far away. You know, we're dying just to get a glimpse. Disowned, and then we get turned away. Good day, back to the beginning. Hang tight, cycles never ending. Living on the outside, living on the outside. Which is obviously ring 8. It's what they're referencing
Hmm.
right there. We're going hungry and we're out of time. Faith in the child that keeps us pretty all right. Just past the dividing line between the blessed and cursed of Antimai. Yeah, but well, that's what poverty is, man. People are going hungry
Hmm.
every day. Just look at what's going on in some of the inner cities, man, especially in some of the poverty-ridden areas. And the only thing that'll keep them going is their faith. Whether
Yep.
you are a Christian, whether you're Jewish, whether you're Muslim, your faith will keep you going. New home, hard to go it alone. Seize fate, pair off and procreate. Antimai will find them a use when they are old enough. Young blood blessed to make the cut, past erased, all by the holy state of Antimai. Jeez. Dead zone, and from far, far away, you know we're dying just to get a glimpse, and then we get turned away. Good day, back to the beginning. Hang tight, cycles never ending, living on the outside. Dead zone, and with so little left and nowhere else to go. Disowned, we would have to be crazy to talk back. It's better we hang tight. Someone's bound to come and save us. Um, it's the one thing is the lyrics here, the music is pretty upbeat even for talking about something so grim, dude. Like what
Yes.
the living fuck, dude. Yeah, it's like a Key and Peele skit. You see something good on the outside, but then deep inside, or however, it's a whole different story, you know? But yeah, I thought it was a smooth start right here, you know?
Right, then we get to Ring 7 Industry.
Yep,
Antimai. This is on Instagram again.
yep,
Antimai, Ring 7 Industry. Any man who fails to turn one and one into three is stripped of name and future, reassigned as function, forced to forge the tools and transport of the military state, made to raise the walls that keep them contained. They can come from as deep as Ring 3, but that sentence is reserved for wrenches in the official gears because money, influence, and power can blur the sins of luxury's worst offenders.
man, dude. I mean, like I said, it's the one I think industry out of all these songs here, I think this one was my one of my favorites,
Yeah,
you know?
I'm not gonna lie, I love every song of this album.
Oh, I know you do, man, but at the end we have to choose our number one favorite. And if you got
Yeah.
several, just say like number one, two, or three or whatnot. I know
Well,
you'll
I
like
I do
them.
have a favorite. I'll say it when we get there though.
Yeah. I do love how the beginning of the song is going, like I'm hearing the saxophone and then it sounds like they're using a synthesizer, which kind of for some reason reminds me of uh Talking About by 3. When we talked about the ELP spin-offs and
Mhm.
whatnot. But and Casey Crescenzo going at it again with the lyrics here, man. Fuck.
Yep. And then on Genius it says uh Ring 7 explores the industry cycle of the last remaining metropolitan city, following the people who work in factories and warehouses. It
Yeah.
also reveals that this circle mainly consists of people who have been thrown out of upper circles and couldn't make it in LoTown, and details the process of integrating into the lifestyle of the workers.
Yeah.
All right, and I'll go through the lyrics.
Go right ahead.
Walk this way when you want to keep your secrets. Otherwise, it's a big mistake thinking that you're hiding who you are because you're not fooling anyone.
Yep, you are not fooling anyone. You can try all you like, but in the end, you're not fooling anyone. That's pretty much like how all these industrialists go, especially when it comes to like working conditions and all that. That like
Hmm.
I would kind of like relate this song, to dogs from animals because dogs are the enforcers or the industrialist, business-minded overachievers who are making money off of the working man.
Hmm. Then it goes, so your family cast you down, join the rest of us, bio pariahs. And they
Um,
spell caste caste,
yeah.
referring to like a caste system, which they have in like India and places where Hinduism is popular. They
Oh,
believe in
dude.
caste systems.
Oh, dude, I actually did not know that. Fuck, man.
Yeah,
So
do you
you're
know what a caste system is?
no, can you explain that, please?
So in I think they do this in India. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's an Indian practice with Hinduism.
I could take a look for you.
There are different castes. There's like the rich. It goes from the rich down to the outcasts. And
Yeah.
basically, when you're born into a caste, and that's where you remain for the rest of your life.
Yep. Oh, yep, they do. It is in India. They have it in there. So, yep, it's a pretty much something that its origin from ancient times, like back in the good old days. It was
Hmm.
transformed by various ruling elites in the medieval, early modern era and modern India, especially in the aftermath of the collapse of the Mughal Empire and the establishment of the British Raj. I was taking a look on
Yeah.
Wiki, so
So
but
I think they specifically did that to compare the structure of Antimai to like a caste system.
yeah,
Because if you're born in poverty, you stay in poverty. If you're born in luxury, you stay in luxury. Just kind
yeah.
of luck of the draw.
I think that yeah,
The,
I believe that with this album they must have looked at the caste system and that's what inspired them to create what they did here. So, all right, if you
yeah, and then
could
it says,
continue.
join the rest of us biopariahs. A pariah is kind of like an outsider kind of person.
Yeah, a pariah looking to make a quick buck or something like that, or to like do advertising campaigns or whatever the fuck it is, you know.
Yeah, and then it goes up. If you're too low to get down in LoTown, they're probably going to bring you here. You were up in the Pantheon. Now you're struggling to get out of this ditch. Well, we'll make you into mechanic. What does mechanic mean? A
Uh,
mechanic is someone who fully embraces the lifestyle of Ring 7. This implies the person becomes little more than the blue collar work they do, especially becoming to the system nothing more than a machine.
yeah.
All right. You should have tried to hide it, belie it, deny it. Now this is as good as it gets, and there is nothing that could keep the job and you from integrating, so you better get used to it. Here you can be it, believe it, you see it, then you don't say anything. We're all just trying to uncover what was punished by our mothers with another now and then.
Yeah.
Your family tossed you out like the rest of us, and I heard you're new in town, so join the rest of us. Bio pariahs.
Okay, so your family tossed you out like the rest of us and you're new in town. That's pretty much like being outcasted once you go into the next ring or whatever.
Right, go ahead and wave goodbye to the old town, because they are done with you, it's clear. You don't know what to do, but we know what you're going through, so let the panic disappear. If you are too low to get down in LoTown, they're probably going to bring you here. You're up in the Pantheon now, you're struggling to get out of this ditch. We'll make you into mechanic. Go ahead and wave goodbye to the old town, because they know they are done with you, is clear. You don't know what to do, but we know what you're going through, so let the panic disappear.
Yeah, I thought the lyrics were pretty good.
Yeah.
Even then, like looking back on when we watched that short film or whatnot, it's pretty much
Hmm.
talking about like you said, that's where the child went after poverty. Is that the mother and the child were in poverty, and then the child ends up getting transferred to Ring 7, which is industry.
Hmm.
And I obviously, even with the fucking music, dude, it sounds way too positively upbeat, but sounds so fucking sad, dude. Dude, at least with Pink Floyd, dude, their music was sinister in a way. So maybe if Deer Hunter honestly could have made their music a little more sinister or harrowing, dude, it would have probably worked more honestly, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Ring 6 LoTown.
All right, once again, reading off their Instagram.
Go right ahead.
Antimai, Ring 6, LoTown. Any woman who tries to choose her own path or is simply unable to abide by what she's been assigned to is sent to LoTown's canyons, stripped of standing and reassigned as sustenance. Down here, strong bonds form between the consistory's order, tending toxic terrace pools to grow harvest and refine nutrient lichen that feeds Antimai from below, where the light barely touches. Honestly, in that short film, they might have been in LoTown, I think, actually.
I don't,
They
you
were
know,
taken,
I don't,
the kid
I,
was taken from LoTown to work in industry.
yeah, I don't, I'm not sure, honestly. It felt because, like, the child almost felt like they were in poverty. They almost looked like they couldn't even make ends meet. I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. Like, that's just what I thought, Maybe I could be wrong. If you ask me, dude, like, when you get moved from LoTown to industry or whatnot, it felt like it's more of a demotion.
Yeah,
Like it's like you're getting promoted from like the outer rings and getting more and more promoted to the inner rings.
yeah.
Yeah. So the I actually for the music wise, it was a pretty soft, quiet at a beginning, and then obviously the music hits you, you know?
Hmm.
I
All right,
actually,
low t
oh,
oh,
go
sorry, go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh,
Okay.
I just thought the music was good. That's just me.
Yeah. LoTown explores the sixth ring of the fictional city of Antimai, which acts as a state-appointed religious hub to grow crops and provide food for the rest of the rings. Its citizens face increasing quotas and demands from the upper class, contrasted with the increasing hardship to grow anything due to the worsening earth in a district that's rarely, if ever, bathed by sunlight.
Jeez. Ugh. I will say this, dude, honestly, this is my opinion, but dude, I feel like this is very Fallout-esque.
Yeah,
You know, like you know, all the destruction and dystopian setting in Fallout, dude, in the Fallout game series, it almost feels like that was another inspiration to make it look so fucking depressing, dude. Like,
mm,
Jesus Christ, dude. You know? Ugh.
right. Your turn with the lyrics.
All right, so shall I get into the lyrics?
Yep.
All right. It goes a little like this. Raised routinely to believe we've a narrowed purpose we can't contravene. Blessed is the obligation, anything unique is blasphemy. Dude, blasphemy.
Mm.
They need more mouths to feed. Some of us fall off the path, make our decisions never looking back. Autonomy's short lived, they don't forgive. And so we're damned by the autocrats to feed the mouths in need. Dude, it's a. You know what? I do believe that this is related to the short film because it does actually really see that. I could
Yeah.
actually see that right now. So, we've a narrowed purpose we can't contravene. It's almost like the child is questioning the Indigo child. You know. All right. It continues on to say, but the quotas are too much. The yield's not enough. We've worked our hardest, but the basin's drying up. And they deny that simple truth. They seem determined, resolute to fail. That's every system that they put in place for like trying to run governments and whatnot. You know, it's like they seem determined, but resolutions to fail no matter what.
Yep. They're doing their best to meet the quotas, but they're just not growing enough crops.
Yeah, they are just not good. I mean, enough is never enough, basically. Like, even then, like, when it comes to, like, finding a certain problem or whatnot, there's still gonna be problems with that problem they're trying to fix. All right. We've held beneath the monolith of their manipulation. We exist, entangled in creation. Hypocrites too often make decisions, raring to quote a god to get what they want.
That
That,
is very relatable with politics today.
Oh yeah, dude, it always is. And actually, here was a, you know, and now that I look back on this, so I've watched a lot of history documentaries, and there was like a
Yeah.
documentary I watched about all the past U.S. presidents, and Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, right after the Civil War, when he gave his first speech, he did not see it as a victory when the Union defeated the Confederacy. He basically just quoted some of the same old stuff that he said in his 1865 inauguration, you know, like looking for peace and reconstruction of the entire nation that was tearing itself apart. And basically, a lot of people thought he was questioning God, but his interpretation was we sometimes cannot, you know, we sometimes have to, uh, um, sometimes we have to, convey or have confidence in ourselves to for our own judgments.
Yeah, I like that line, raring to quote a god to get what they want.
Dude,
Because a certain political party these days tries to act like they're God's party. And
they
they
are not.
use the words of God to, they aren't. And they use the words of God to get what they want.
Yeah. I mean, and yeah, this certain party, let's just say that, yeah, we've had like a lot of issues with, and I'm just fed up, you know, so.
Yep.
Too. I'm not for both sides. I'm an independent because I don't even trust the other side too, you know.
Mm,
No, I try to stay neutral when it comes to like some of this stuff, you know, because like there's some stuff that you can hear and whatnot, to, like agree to disagree, and that's just my honest opinion about it. So,
okay.
all right, go ahead, continue.
You were doing the lyrics.
Oh shit, I forgot. God damn it, dude, this is really starting to kick me in the ass right now, you know. Give me a moment. Okay, down here, we all grow anything we want to, and every single blooms of victory. Any joy you can find is encouraged by the consistory. Consistory?
I think so.
Okay. Down here, we share the weight of every burden, but every sister is your devotee. Whoever you were when you come here, it's ancient history. Now, every single blooms of victory, like we grow anything we want to, that's pretty much food, essentially. And
Yeah.
every single blooms of victory, like we're getting fed. We're getting fed, so it works. Or no, we are winning because we have food now. Any joy you can find is encouraged by the consistory. I think that's pretty much if we let's just let's make it let's here's an example I'll say. Joy you can find is encouraged by it. I think it's pretty much for victories or you know wins and all that or just being grateful for what you achieved, you know? And also love is the key word. All
And
right,
then
and
there's that
let's
line, whoever you were when you come here is ancient history. Because when you enter, uh, oh, never mind. I think it's industry when they strip you of your name.
oh yeah.
All right, anyway, go
And
ahead.
yeah, and whoever you were when you come here, it's ancient history. Yeah, just taking your name and changing it to something else. It's pretty much in the old prison systems, like no, let's say Shawshank Redemption, for example. You're not known by your name anymore. You're known by a prison ID number that they give you, and that
Yep.
Alcatraz is the greatest example of it because when you get sent to Alcatraz, like the system went like this, like if you violate the rules of society, they send you to prison. But if you violate the rules of prison, they send you to Alcatraz, and that's where they take your name and they give you an ID number, like the some letters and numbers and whatnot. So Al Capone was like he was not known as Al Capone in Alcatraz, and he's still today considered the most famous inmate there. Obviously, he was known as
Yeah.
prisoner number this, this, and this. That's all the guards will say to you as. That's how they'll address you. You know, and if you were heard saying your own name, they would beat you to a pulp and said, "Say your fucking ID number." Right. So that's a well, I could certainly see that. And even if you move into
Yeah.
like the inner rings, it's like you're either changing IDs or they're forcing you to change your ID to wipe away your family history and whatnot. Let me tell you something, man. They tried to purge my mother's Racine name through the Indian boarding school systems, and they failed. So go fuck yourselves, people. Go fuck yourselves. All right. So to continue on, now that I got that all out of the way, we're held beneath the monolith of their manipulation. We exist entangled in creation. Hypocrites too often make decisions. Raring to quote a god, beneath the monolith, we exist. Hypocrites too often make decisions. Raring to quote a god to get what they want. We're hiding beneath the monolith of their manipulation. That's pretty much political parties trying to persuade you to stand by their political beliefs or they're spreading the word. And it's also like Charles Manson, what he did with the Manson family. He was able to manipulate them because of LSD and also making quotes of God, you know, to make himself look like that.
Hmm.
And that was also what happened with the what was the name of that cult that was the subject of the Waco siege?
I can't remember.
But yeah, you know what I mean. Let me take a look at that. No, but yeah, dude, that was a huge, that was a big moment right there, dude. Let's see here. Oh yeah, the Branch Davidians. The Branch Davidians, who are led by none other than David Koresh, who, in my opinion, is probably the most infamous cult leader, alongside with Charles Manson, obviously. Lee, it's still unknown how that fire got started, but I think it was the cultists who burnt themselves to death. I don't think ATF did that. They looked like the ATF, dude. Like, a lot of people give ATF a lot of shit for what they do, but I do believe they did not start that fire intentionally. If they did, they probably did it on accident just to try and drive them out. But the cultists were like, nope, we're killing ourselves. We're either going to take cyanide or we're going to let the flames burn us to death or barbecue us. You know? All right. We exist entangled in creation. It's all entangled in creation. Um, it's like when, your parents do their business and 9 months later, you're born. So you're like
Yes.
their creation, so to speak, and then it'll be society that will continue to create your image, or like however you see pursue, or like how you continue on in life and you become the person you become. Hypocrites too often make decisions. Dude, that is the same with Fox News, dude. They often make their own decisions on what shall we lie about today? What kind of conspiracy shall we spread today, ladies and gentlemen? You know, raring to quote a god to get what they want, and yep, it's still as relatable as ever today.
Yep.
All right, so to finish up, from down here, the sunlight rarely warms the ice enough to break a sweat. Jeez, if that sunlight would have thawed out that lake where fucking a rail had sex with them snakes, dude, their bodies would probably still be floating around, or whatever's left after he devoured them. God fucking damn it, dude. Fuck this, dude. Anyway, but nothing rivals just how cold another's judgment gets. That's pretty much the court of law right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because or it's not just the judicial system, but it's everyone's judgment and opinions of you, like as your character changes and like how your image changes and whatnot. Heck, dude, I mean, dude, even then, like, I could care less these days, dude. I was always an asshole, and I'm gonna probably continue to be an asshole.
So says here, the workers of the sixth ring are looked down on by the other citizens of Antimai, maybe even despised for being responsible for the starvation of the city. This distance is paralleled by the walls towering above them, forbidding warmth or light from shining down into the district.
Oh, okay, I get you. Let's see here. This bit of distance sure does hush those holy epithets. Is that related to what you just quoted right there? Um, I mean, either way, I'll finish this up quick. From down here, the city's
Right.
voices bounce around till nothing's clear at all. So we disassociate from anyone who's never made the fall. You'll never get us until you're with us. Down here, down here, down here. But I do like how the music sounds. Why does it feel like
Yeah.
it's very crime noir-esque? All right, so we're gonna do Ring 5 and then we're gonna take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. So, Ring 5 is obviously appropriately titled Middle Class. Now, Aegis, could you read that, please?
All right, this is off the Instagram again. Ring five, the middle class. A
Glass.
brutalist, a brutalist sprawl lit by vendor neon and state power, built to feel like safety. Here you wake up grateful for the walls, praise the hand that keeps the alien away, and keep your head in the sand. 1 + 1 = 3 is a duty and a deadline. Do your job or go the way of the refugee. The closed circuit keeps you busy, the comforts keep you blind, and sometimes in the glow you realize that you're just doing time. They got you buying your chains.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, middle class. It's pretty much what it is. It's us, the second class citizens.
Yeah. And then on Genius, it says Ring 5 is home to the middle class of Antimai, and the song chronicles its inhabitants' hopelessness as they begin to question the system they've so readily been a key part of, but are too afraid to challenge. And then the lyrics go like this.
Oh, so I'm sorry, dude. I thought your cat was
Oh,
literally on your chair, but no, it's just walking around on the bed. I thought it was just hanging on your chair. All right, go ahead, continue, dude. I'm sorry.
yep. Hard to believe he lets us wake up every day. Glory to he who keeps the alien away.
That almost feels like that's a communist thing right there. Or, in a country that's run by communism, it feels like, yeah, it's hard to believe he's letting us wake up every day. Like, it almost feels like it's a privilege or a right. Okay, I thought the cat jumped out of the window for the moment. I was like, wait a minute, your patio don't work. How the fuck is that possible?
All right, because we've been assigned to turn 1 and 1 to 3, but God says, keep the blood of the refugee. So most of us will come to see that we may never leave. But if
Yeah,
we could, believe us, believe us. Oh yeah, we got it so good that we'll stay here with our heads right in the sand, just like we should. We would love it if it was better out there, and we could fix it if we only had the time. But the business begets a blindness, and comforts enjoyed eclipse our eye line.
yeah. Um, and we can fix it if we only have the time. But the busyness begets a blindness. That's pretty much like we're trying to do one thing, but we are too occupied with the other. All right, continue on, please.
Basically, I think it's like the work that they do, they become blind to what's going on around them.
Yeah.
All right. So when you are assigned to turn 1 and 1 to 3, do your job or go the way of the refugee. Like most of us, will come to see that we may never leave. But if we could, believe us, believe us. Oh yeah, we got it so good. Whenever you need us, we've got us on the hook. Yeah, we'll stay right here with our heads right in the sand, just like we should. Yeah, we'll stand proud with our heads on the ground, just like you said we should.
Oh, dude. That yeah, dude, that feels like that is so relatable. Definitely right there.
Yeah, muted shades give way to inner riot, creases deepen under your command, but worry leads to nothing anyway. And who are we to whine when at the end of the day we've realized we're just doing time?
Muted shades give way to inner riot. Do you think that's like when we respond to like what goes on and we're protesting it?
I don't know.
Creases
It's an interesting
deepen
lyric.
creases deepen under your command. Yeah, I don't know, man. And who are we to whine when at the end of the day we've realized we're just doing time? So that's pretty much like who are we to complain about everything? Because at the end of the day, we realize that we're just doing
This is like a
time.
jail,
Yeah,
being
and it's
forced to work constantly.
yeah, and that's going back to the old prison systems or the penal systems in our country. Not just that, but even in other countries around the world for their prison systems. I mean, look at Shawshank Redemption, for example, with what they did, and then in the movie and whatnot, and how it all went, and then also look at Alcatraz too, for example.
Yeah. So and that was part one of middle class, and it comes to part through. And then it
Part
says,
through.
they got you buying your chains. Isn't that a cool lyric? They got you
Yeah,
buying your chains. For the middle class, meaningless work nets them meaningless money so they can buy meaningless stuff for which they have to do meaningless work.
it's that
Saving up
frivolous
is not an
spending.
option. Yep. Saving up is not an option. Moving up in the world is not an option. Antimai is organized in such a way that the cycle will not end. The middle class will forever use money to keep themselves down.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt.
All right, hard to believe we've never realized that we'll run out of room to grow. Maybe we'll marry up. Maybe we'll have a daughter who marries up. Maybe she'll have a daughter who marries up. At least you're kind enough to meet in the middle between what has kept us alive and thriving and what makes us want to die for your light on us to shine.
Dude, that hit. Dude, that really cut right there. And what makes us to want to die for your light on us to shine? That really cut to the core right there. And then maybe we'll have a daughter who marries up. Maybe she'll have a daughter who marries up. Like it's pretty much like if there's like a, let's say for example, one woman be taken from the middle class or whatever, and she ends up marrying up from to someone who could be from ring four, maybe.
Like, yeah, someone in your family marries up to luxury.
Yeah. Like if she meets somebody who's in ring three and then ends up marrying them and then yeah helps gives them a chance to keep moving up in the world or whatever's
Hmm.
even left in Antimai, you know. I will be honest with you with this song. I think out of all 8 of these songs, that this one was kind of my least favorite.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why. It's a nice tune, but I probably will not revisit it at all. You
Okay.
know.
All right.
I don't know
Then
why. I don't know why. Some reason the overall sound of it, it's a song that I will probably listen to again that I just don't care about. It's when I listen to Magna of Illusion from Blue Oyster Cult's album Imaginos. On that album, Magna of Illusion's kind of my least favorite song out of all of those. You know. So
yeah. And lyrics go on up. But we gotta come on. What did we expect now? We keep our heads down half the time. No need to reflect now. There really is nothing to do, so sit back and power through. Better than take your chance on earth. Best to live than to die for what you're worth.
best to live than to die for what you're worth. Wow, wow, dude.
Then it
Uh,
repeats. They've got you buying your chains 4 times.
Yeah, I don't have my chain on right now, so. Alrighty,
Yeah,
dude.
what that means, they got you buying your chains is you're spending so much money on things that you aren't able to go up to luxury or anything like that. You
Dude,
stay in the middle class.
yeah, I mean, dude, I could honestly understand that. I mean, do you not see all this shit that I have in here, dude? I mean, do you not see all the shit that I was spending frivolously on to get what I wanted because I wanted it? No, the only thing is that I already did my taxes the other day, and from what I seen, it's gonna be a nice nest egg. But I'm not gonna buy a bunch of random stuff. I'm just gonna be using it to pay off my credit card because that credit card has been the bane of my existence for I
Yeah.
don't know how long. It wasn't my fault that I maxed out the credit card so bad, dude, but I had to get what I needed for my apartment when I was moving in here. You know? Let me ask you
Yeah.
this. Did you had to max did you have to spend like a fuck ton to get all the stuff for your place when you moved in?
No.
Oh, so they were all given to you then.
Yeah, some of this is stuff I already had, and some of this is stuff that my parents gave to me.
Yeah, I think for me, like it was basically the bookshelf, my clothes drawer, my gun rack, my glass display case out there, and my coffee tables that I had to buy. And I was kind of a frivolous spender anyway because I kept making trips to Zorba's back in the old days. So, well, it was when I was moving in, and then I would frivolously spend on like maybe at least buying Dairy Queen and McDonald's and Domino's and shit like that. So,
Right?
alrighty. So I say, what do you? I think for the overall rings, dude, it feels so fucking depressing on the outside, and yeah, you just can't wait to see what happens with the next 4 rings. So. Before we get to the inner rings, as I would call them at this point, we're going to take a quick short break. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
shit. Let's have a drink last night. Yeah, you better run to. The hell? Traveling Jack from Clock Out Run. I don't drink this shit. I drink Voodoo Rangers. What the fuck?
Rise and shine, Aegis!
How the fuck did you get in my apartment?
You left the door open.
Huh. Dude, seriously? Tapeworm Tussle?
Come on, man, you love this song and you know it. It has that same upbeat personality like my all-time favorite song, Don't Bring Me Down by the Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah, I know that. If I hear it one more goddamn time, I'm going to bash my brains in.
What's that, Aegis? I can't hear you, man. Are you an independent musician or band that's looking to be interviewed and to promote your music? If so, contact me via social media or email today. Ladies and gentlemen, Beer Hunter here along with Casey Crescenzo, and welcome back to the Roger Radio Show, where we are now continuing on into the inner rings of the fictional city of Antimai as we continue the album review. I will say this, dude, like, the music so far has been nothing but too fucking positive for something that is too fucking depressing, dude. Like, it's... What the fuck, bro? What the living fuck? It's like, with, I can't remember, was there like any Emerson, Lake and Palmer music that fucking did that, or what? Alright, so shall we continue on?
Yeah.
Alright, so next up we got is Ring 4 Patrol, and I will say this, when we were watching the, music video, or, you know, the short film about the Indigo child, or, you know, the sneak preview of what's to come. At the ending, you hear a jingle that is Patrol, and that confused me so much because I thought Patrol would be the outer ring, honestly. And, I will, it'll be mainly because, like, you know, the first song is what kicks off this album, right? And I would expect Patrol to kick it off. But now that I think about it, I think Patrol is there to protect the higher society, right?
Yeah, basically.
All right. Can you explain, please?
Yeah. Once again, referring to the Instagram page, Antimai, Ring 4, Patrol. Military base wrapped around a city built to make force feel routine. Barracks packed with bodies. Depots that move squads like freight, prison docks bolted into the sky. Most are pulled from Ring 8 and offered the only ladder Antimai provides. Trade your humanity for a uniform, and the city pays you in power. Then you are sent back downrange to keep the alien away, make examples, enforce the order you survived. Because once you can get away with anything, you stop asking what it costs.
You know, dude, I will say this, dude, like, it makes so much sense, you know, and, I will say this, I do like the music that they have here, especially that jingle at the beginning, that dun 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 dun, you know?
Yeah.
And, obviously, Patrol, it could be, like, any type of security, like, you know, security detail for, like, musicians, actors, athletes, even politicians, dude, because of the Secret Service. Or as Beavis and Butthead called them, the Secret Cervix. I think it's your turn for the lyrics, honestly, because I think I did.
Yep.
Or wait,
also,
let me take a look one more time, actually. Oh, actually, it is my turn. Or
yeah.
Yeah,
but first off, referring to Genius again, Ring 4 is where the police of Antimai, called Patrol, lives and trains. It is a ring mainly consisting of barracks and training grounds, since the patrolmen are deployed throughout the city and don't necessarily spend a lot of time on their own ring. Dangerous, callous, intimidating, irresponsible, and injudicious. Antimai's patrol showcases the devastation of unchecked monolithic might. The song also provides information that, outside of hoping your family marries up, this is a way for people of lower rings to raise their status. However, that same power that makes them rise through corrupts them and turns them into a tool for the oppressor, an ending cycle of naive people from the lower class being turned into an oppressive force for the upper class.
All right. Okay, I got you, man. Um, shit, what was I about to say right now? I mean, no, Patrol is what Patrol is, man. They're the police of Antimai, you know? And,
Yep.
no, they basically, they don't even stay, you said they don't stay in their rings too often? Or, obviously, it's almost like, when I look back, when I think about, like, all these rings here, Ring 4 almost feels like it's the, you know, the country borders, you know? And
Yeah.
basically it's like a patrolling area, and it's basically like the border be like, hey, you have to have like your credentials to pass this checkpoint, you know?
All right. Do you want to dip into the lyrics?
Yep, I believe I'm next. So
Yep.
all right. Ring 4 goes as follows. They see me strolling in my uniform, acting like they seen a ghost. Wish I could tell them that I mean no harm. I wouldn't want to lose my post. It's risky returning to my stomping ground. After giving them a guarantee that I never do anything so profound as become the enemy. Dude, that is so fucking relatable. Even today, dude. Like, nah, it's basically, with all the racial tension is how I would is how I could like look back on with this, because like in the early part of the 20th century, blacks were they were being persecuted so bad in the South, not just by everyone who were descendants of Confederates, but also the fact that the police were racially biased as hell.
Hmm. And they still are.
Yeah, and even then, like you take a look at this, like when I look at O.J. Simpson's trial, the trial of the century, Johnny Cochran, and he really made a good case about pointing out LA's history of racial bias for the LAPD, you know, and it worked. Alrighty. But I used to be weak, weary of the wise, used to let my life get the best of me. Then I was given a choice, and it was easy to see all I needed was a little bit of power. So basically, it's right before they become policemen or like, you know, security and all that. They were very weak individuals, and they basically were given the choice, and they wanted to exert a little bit of power, whether it be
Yep.
for the good of the community or society, or just for their own benefit. Now, anybody with their head on straight could see me coming miles away, but I never expected I'd get so much hate. Hey, for putting people in their place, it would be difficult to find something in mind we couldn't do. To anyone who gives me as much as a dirty look, don't make it you. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Anybody with their head on straight, it's basically like the police being like, hey, you gotta stop it. Just stop it, kind of thing. They could see me coming miles away. Well, dude, it's the police. What do you expect, right? But I never expect I get so much hate. It's basically because like there's so many people who get mad with the police, mainly because either they got arrested, because they got in citations, they got in, tickets, speeding tickets, you know, and then
Yep.
because they everyone like us, for example, the police say we're getting hate because they think we're disrespecting them, which I do not believe is the case. I do support law enforcement, dude. There is a reason why law enforcement is there, and then To anyone who gives as much as a dirty look, don't make it you. It's when I look back on what NWA went through before they released Straight Outta Compton, they were getting harassed by the LAPD so fucking much. And Ice Cube was so fed up with it, with the police treating them with such disrespect. That's when the legendary "Fuck the Police" came out. And even then, if you just simply just look at him for a second, then turn away, the police will immediately assume that you're hiding something. Red and blue lights turning on. Wee-oo, wee-oo. What do you got in your bag, sir? What do you got in your bag? And that's the same in the prison systems, too. Like, if you look at them immediately, they'll assume you're resisting. And if you don't cooperate, you're going to really hear about it. You will hear it, you know? Now, basically, I've delved into a lot of my personal stuff, you know, about my older sister, Skylar, who I was able to see for the first time in 8 years, and she has become a changed person for the better. And I do love her with all my heart. It took her going to the maximum prison in Shakopee to strain her out, you know? And no, honestly, you know, like it literally took her like how long to get her to get her ass straight, you know. So, alrighty, but we used to be weak, weary of the wise, used to let our lives keep us in the weeds. We were given a choice, and it was easy to see what we needed. What we need is power, so we don't have to think about a thing. So we can bring you all to your knees. We can keep you from forgetting. We got the power to get away with anything, over and over again. 3 days straight seeing monochrome. Oh, fuses used, ready to blow. Called on to be vicious, callous, and expectations. Well, I can't tell when I last slept, and though my conscience is a bit unkempt, well, it's no bother. I can just forget and never bother with a bit of it again. Jeez, dude. Fuses used, ready to blow. It's pretty much called on to be vicious, callous, and expectations. That's when 911's called. And the police
Callous and
get involved.
expeditious.
Is it expeditious? Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you look at it, it's like, yeah, called on to be vicious. As soon as 911 is dialed, dude, you know they're coming immediately. And they're going to be coming with a lot of firepower. Whether it be guns, whether it be SWAT uniforms, whether it be K9 units, they're coming. They're coming fully packed. I can't tell when I last slept. It's basically when law enforcement, like, there will be policemen who will have to work for like how many days on end without any sleep because they're on assignment or, you know, at work, you know. And though my conscience is a bit unkempt, I think it's like they're trying to feel a sense of humanity in themselves. Like, we're not cruel people. We are just doing our jobs. Our conscience is clear why we are doing what we're doing. And it's for the community, to protect, to make our communities and cities a safe place for people to live, right? Well, it's no bother. I can just forget and never bother with a bit of it again. It's if they get into a situation like a shooting, for example, they want to forget about it, move on, you know?
Yeah.
Power. What we need is power, so we don't have to think about a thing. So we can bring you all to your knees. You know, get on your knees, keep your hands up, get on your knees. We can keep you from forgetting. We've got the power to get away with anything over and over again. And how many fucking times have we seen law enforcement shoot innocent black people and get off?
Exactly. With like, especially with like ICE, they can do whatever they want. And they get away with it.
Yeah.
All right. Then ring 3, once again on the Instagram page.
Yeah.
Antimai, ring 3, the Hall of the Guides and Luxury. A closed society wedged between patrol and paradise, where privilege is treated like divine inheritance. The guides convene in ornamental halls to decide what the city deserves and what it can survive without. Behind
Yeah.
walls high enough to hide the rest of Antimai, they pick, they choose, and they call it tradition. They live in fancy fabrics and borrowed time, paid for in tithes from below. Win or lose, it's all right. Time will pass and nothing ever changes.
All righty. Yep. It's pretty much a luxury. It's hey, I have all this money and I can live in luxury, man.
Yeah.
I can enjoy
And then,
every single second of it.
no, honestly, I think this is probably my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be if I look at this oh yeah, it is like their second most streamed song on this album right behind Industry. I've listened to the song and I've watched the music video for it. The music video, it's pretty much one of those thingamajigs or those machines that was like in the short film like for the upper part of the society thing like
Yeah, it's one of the guides.
yep, yeah, that was the guy that was there and obviously it was Casey Crescenzo singing it obviously. The guide was right there and then it was the guide was like talking to a crowd of guides themselves is
Yeah,
how I would say for the music video. And it looked like those fucking that one famous commercial or whatever. It's like there's like a giant screen that people are watching that they're getting brainwashed by, and there's that one woman with whatever and had to destroy the monitor or something like that. That's what it almost looked like, but without the screen. Instead, it's a guy there actually talking.
yeah. So on Genius, Ring 3 is home to two very key components of Antimai's society, the guides and the luxurious upper class. An early working title for the song was Guides and Luxury, representing both sections of the song, but it was later retitled Luxury and split into two parts. The first part of the song tells about how the guides act in their center of operations, the Hall of the Guides. As religious leaders, they are the main governing body of Antimai. As the God Emperor can't be bothered with any actual governing, and are responsible for crafting and updating the laws of the city,
Yeah.
delegating resources to every ring according to their needs, and also act as a judiciary in the name of the God Emperor. The second part details the lifestyle of the upper class, ranging from the disdain of the lower classes and rings to rituals and exercises they must perform to ensure their spot in the society, praising the God Emperor.
I will say this about this song here. The music sounded angry, and Casey Crescenzo sounded even more fucking angrier, dude. Like, it works, dude. Like, look at these people living in luxury and all that. Like, it could be like billionaires, politicians, and all that. And here we are, hungry, trying to make ends meet while they're living in luxury. Like, who the fuck are you kidding, people? You guys always say that you're doing a lot of stuff for the good, but how much money did you actually fucking donate to these causes?
All right.
If I could, dude, I would absolutely do the same thing. If I was in luxury and I had all this money, I would give to charity. I would give to help veterans who are suffering from
Yeah.
PTSD. I would give to the children's hospitals like St. Luke's and St. Jude's and all of them so
Yeah,
that
that's what I want to do.
yeah, and I would give also to stuff to prevent suicide to spread awareness about suicide because I was suicidal myself, and so
Me
that
too.
part would be deeply personal to me.
Yeah.
You know, but look at all these people here. Yeah, look at all these billionaires. How much money do you think Elon Musk has donated at all? How much do you think Donald Trump has donated at
Not
all?
enough.
How many
Not
of these
enough.
other people have donated?
Not enough.
Right?
No
It's not
one,
enough. They'll make
no
that
one,
money back.
no one really needs $1 billion.
Yeah.
There's no,
I could understand like it's a good way to support yourself, but come on, look at all this fancy ass shit that you're buying for yourself.
yeah,
I
no
don't
one needs $1 billion. It's
right?
just a fact. No one
Me
needs $1 billion.
if I I will say this, dude. If I had just only a $500,000, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. Even 100,000, I'd be happy with. Like, you don't need all that money to be happy, dude. Money does not bring you happiness at all. You know?
Well, I'm gonna get into the lyrics for
Yeah, please
luxury.
do so because, dude, I'm already riled up, dude, and I'm just as angry as our boy Casey right here. You know, so I
All
need a
right, we
beer.
can we can pick, we can choose, we can make moves no matter what they lose. We could be right, we could be wrong. We can make mistakes. Our reign is long. 'Cause gentlemen, I believe everything happens for reasons. Just look at the seasons. And here we've been divined, roots entrenched in time-honored traditions which we all can malign. We have the rights.
You're damn fucking right. We should have the same rights as them. Me, and I will say this, dude, when it comes to billionaires and millionaires, if they get caught for something, they get off with a slap on the wrist. But
I think the
meanwhile, what
guides
happens to us? We get sent to be behind a cell.
I think the guides represent like the Senate or the House of Representatives.
Yeah, that's what I do believe is that, yeah, they're supposed to be like the Senate or whatnot, you know?
Yeah. A man was dying, a child was born. Take him for everything, take him for everything. Yes, following form. We will pick his carcass clean, but first there is one thing on which we must agree. Official decree. On the one hand, we could starve the child. On the other hand, we can let the elder die. How to keep a flow of food to hungry mouths? On second thought, fuck them, they'll figure it out.
Dude, that is so fucking relatable, dude. Like, a man is dying, a child was born. You know, I go back to my reincarnation theory for that part, just that
Yep.
part. But then when you look at this, how to keep the flow of food to hungry mouths, on second thought, fuck them, they can figure it out. That's pretty much any government in general.
Yep, that's capitalism for you.
Yep. And going back on my Pink Floyd Animals similarities, there's the dogs and then the pigs, three different ones who are the benefactors, billionaires, and politicians. And they also they had a good lyric that's on there that Roger Waters wrote for pigs, three different ones. And he said, "Hey, you White House, how Shara you are, you try to keep our feelings off the street."
All right, and then it goes on that you can lose your damned mind here in the Hall of the Guides. Win or lose, it's all right. You're in the Hall of the Guides. They
Win or
talk of famine.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say you can lose your damned mind here in the Hall of the Guides. That's pretty much like you know, when it comes to all these congressional sessions, they'll allow like people to like sit in and actually watch or you know whatever, and then as they're seeing what they are passing for like laws and rules and all that that you don't agree to, they will lose their minds over it. They'll go insane. Like, what the hell are you guys doing? This is not going to help us. Blah blah blah.
All right,
So
they talk of fam.
The Hall of the
Oh, go
Guides,
ahead.
it's pretty much like the Capitol Hill, you know. So go right ahead, dude.
All right, they talk of famine. No. They talk of drought. No. They should be happy that anyone's hearing them out. Look at them whimper. Look at them wheeze, alienating the ones they are meant to appease. But their gratitudes all but devolve into platitudes, and they still suspect we'll give them more. They leave us wondering, then perish. Wondering why? Waste not your time. Fuck them, they'll shut up and die.
Huh. Here's the thing: we're never gonna shut up. So go fuck yourselves. You have something called the First Amendment rights. We have something called the First Amendment rights. So you guys can shut the fuck up. Waste not your
All right.
time. Oh, really? Wait, you thinking we're wasting our time? No, we're not. No, we're not.
All right. You can lose your damned mind here in the Hall of the Guides. Win or lose, it's all right. You're in the Hall of the Guides. We can lose our damned minds here in the Hall of the Guides. Win or lose, it's all right here in the Hall of the Guides. We'll persist and endure. We'll maintain the status quo. Our power is pure. They'll resist, but we'll assure that nothing ever changes. Sure, we cast the lure. Sure, we'll bring them in with the lie. Welcome. We could always use another tithe. And time will pass, and time will pass, and time will pass.
Yeah, we'll persist and endure. That's them saying, like, no matter what happens, we're still going to be here. We'll maintain the status quo. That's pretty much policies and laws that they pass. Our power is pure. Well, the Congress is a power. They'll
Yep,
resist, but we'll assure that nothing ever changes. How many times have we seen over how many years that nothing ever fucking changed at all? Because they won't let it fucking change.
yep. Then
Still,
this is.
huh?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, next is part two of luxury called Cream of the Crop.
Yeah. And I was going to say, bring them in with a lie. Welcome. How many times have they fucking lied to us?
Oh, every day.
We could always use another tithe and time will pass. Is that basically trying to find an excuse for something so they could avoid the other issue that we're more concerned about?
Uh, the word tithe, traditionally a payment or donation in support of a church or other religious organization, here is really interesting. It raises the question, does the story of the Indigo child have any basis in reality, or is it simply part of the guy's strategy for keeping Antimai's poor quiet and in their place?
Yeah, without a doubt,
Okay.
man. You go ahead, dude.
All right, cream of the crop. Waking in bliss might sound passe when you're living in a paradise, the kind of place where you never have to work a day. Passing the time with what you crave, because you know anything you need can be provided when you want it. We want a lot, so they've got to give. What could you fear beyond? What could you fear for with hot walls as high as these? If you can't see beyond your windows, it's hard to find the room to care for, oh, anything. But we want it all. And if they got something to give, they're going to give it all if they still got the will to live.
Um, Let me just say, look one more time. No, dude, if they still got the will, they're gonna give it all if they still got the will to live. That's pretty much if we're basically overworking ourselves, trying to make
Yeah.
ends meet with what we have to do. And there they are sitting in luxury, not having to do jack shit.
Yep.
How about you guys come and be in our fucking shoes for a day? I guarantee you guys, you won't last a week.
There always will be a cream of the crop, and we're never getting off the top. A pick of the litter, you know we've got to be the chosen righteous few who've come prepared with what they've inherited. What have you? What have you? What have you?
Yeah,
They've saved their whole lives so they can someday live it a little like we do for one day. But if you get to see just how sweet life could be, oh, it'll be hard for them to find the room to care for anything on returning. And if there's something left to give, they got to give it all if they still got the will to live.
they saved their whole lives so they can someday live a little like we do for one day. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, let me put it to you this way. It's pretty much we're trying to save up money, right? We want to
Yeah.
save up some money, have a nice little nest egg. But at the end we can't really do that, you know? Yeah. So that they can someday live a little like we do for one day. Um I mean, some of us, there's some people out there who would like to be in the luxury shoes, but they know they
Yep.
can't. They know they
And it goes
can't.
on. There will always be a cream of the crop, and we're never getting off the top. The pick of the litter, you know, we've got to be the chosen righteous few who've come prepared with what they've inherited, but what have you? Nothing. We can't see beyond our windows, but we deal in everything. Pay no mind to which way the wind blows, 'cause we can weather anything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then the outro goes left, right, slide to the back, hop to the right now, kick and clap. Yeah, hands to the sky and shake of the knees. Praise in his number XCV. Left, right, slide to the back. Yeah, hop to the right now, kick and clap. Hands to the sky and a shake of the knees. Yeah, praise in his number XCV. Yeah,
I will say
XCV in
this
this case is the God Emperor who's locked away in the tower. XCV is the Roman numeral 95.
95, huh? Is there supposed to be like a symbolic meaning behind that?
I have no idea.
Shit, that might be something that we may have to look up actually. I will say this, dude. I was just listening to the halfway mark, and some reason that halfway mark um almost reminded me for some reason of City Life from the prog rock band Camel.
Yeah.
Um he like I was like, what the hell's going on? Casey was sounding angry at the first half, but now the second time he just went back to like the normal sound that we were hearing, like the usual overall sound. Like Casey, Casey, man, you're supposed to be angry throughout this whole fucking song, dude, and now you're just like, "Well, let's make it nice and positive." All right, next up is Ring 2 Nature. And could you explain nature, please?
Yes, once again on the Instagram page. Antimai, Ring 2, Nature. Built as a living ark meant to preserve equilibrium, seed vaults, greenhouse forests, a controlled balance of tens of thousands of species, then it was overfarmed, overreached, and abandoned. The gates stay shut, the caretakers stopped coming. Now it grows without permission, sealed off and feral, and no one Antimai can say for sure what survives in there anymore.
Um, I was gonna say that sounds almost like the appealing of the environmental protection laws.
Yeah.
Basically, for nature, in this case for Antimai, there's no environmental protection agency to save the nature of it, and they just let it die out. That almost is like the equivalent of uh, how many of our forests or natures are being destroyed because of commercial building.
Yeah, and then on Genius, it says Ring 2 is the second innermost ring in the Deer Hunter's fictional city, Antimai, and is comprised of whatever is left of the nature that once graced their earth. As they grew scarce in the world, all sorts of plants were stored in this ring as a greenhouse. As time passed, the people from Ring 3 began stealing plants as they became a symbol of status due to their scarcity. In time, the collective consciousness that is nature was able to take over the ring to fight off these thieves. And now it's an area completely locked off, serving as a living moat to the tower. The song is sung from the perspective of the plants that remain, mostly predators and carnivorous plants in this decaying environment, as they recount their experience on Earth before and after the arrival of humans.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, luxury, it makes sense that luxury would be stealing it because they see it as like an antique or a knickknack that they can shelve for themselves, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm listening to the music right now on here and it's pretty good. I'm definitely adding this song to download. And of course the fucking xylophone, dude. God damn. The fucking xylophone and just how positively upbeat this is. It would, like I said, Casey, man, you were supposed to make it more sinister because everything I've been seeing is so depressing and so evilish here, dude. Like fucking A. All right, here we go. At first, there was no one to meddle, just the wind to help us settle. We were drinking from the heavens, digging down the earth into the earth. We were thriving undisturbed. It's pretty much the nature taking its course thing, not animals fucking or whatnot, but the plants
Yeah.
growing and all that. And you know what? We were drinking from the heavens. Well, I'm drinking from this right now, bitches. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Digging down into the earth, we were thriving undisturbed. It's basically like, when you plant seeds, right? And they are digging down into the earth like it's the ground or whatnot that these seeds would be buried in. We were thriving undisturbed. It's basically nature growing the tree itself. Then there arose those intent on moving, and like a miracle they kept improving. Then change begat the tail, begat the fin, begat the fist, strength enough to subsist. Those intent on moving, that's pretty much when all these development companies move in to plow down the forest so they can build more cities, And like a miracle, they kept improving.
The line describes when animals, those intent on moving, came to and began to evolve, they kept improving.
Yep. It started with a fish in water, then it grew legs and feet, and then became whatever it became. You know, it's almost like evolution. You know.
Yeah.
Um. So to continue on, it says something changed in them when they heard "I am." Our heartbroken pact was now illusory.
Yeah.
Okay. So still we have to be while waiting endlessly for what is unforeseen. Time passed and they continued growing in the vacuum of their unknowing. Slowly they were changing, taking much more than they need. Envy the perfect seed. Something changed in them when they heard I am. Our unbroken pact was now illusory. So still we have to be while waiting endlessly for what is unforeseen. The fist begets the stick, and the stick begets the blade, and the blade begets the bullet, and the bullet begets the bomb. Demolition of Mother Nature.
It's just like the evolution of man's weaponry.
Yep.
First it was a stick, then it became the blade, then became the bullet, then it became the bomb.
And we have seen a lot of destruction and wars, especially in like for wooded areas too, Like obviously like with the blade, it would be like the old sword and shield, like how armies used to fight on horseback, right?
Yeah.
And then the bullet begets the bullet. The bullet doesn't, or yeah, the bullet doesn't really do much. It just punctures like a tree and that's it. But a bomb would just annihilate the living fuck out of everything. I think for the bullet, it didn't at first, but then when we got machine guns, right? And with all the power in them machine guns, it would start destroying trees a little bit more. Well, no worries, just laughter, cause we'll be here after. No worries, just laughter, cause we'll be here after. And it continues on for a few more paragraphs. Fucking nature, man. You know? I guarantee you, man, like we take this to, them hippies or like, them tree huggers and whatnot. We play this song
Yeah.
for them and we'll let them know what they think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So finally, we make it to ring one, which is the tower.
All right. So, Antimai, Ring on the Tower, once again on the Instagram page. A vertical throne built on the labor, hunger, and obedience of every ring below it. Insulated, elevated, and endlessly fed. To be born here is to be raised inside a lie so complete it becomes your soul. You never touch the cost of what you're given, so you learn to make comfort for proof. The mind fractures in clean air. The spirit warps in silence. Empathy is treated like weakness and power like birthright. From that height, people become numbers, distance becomes permission, and cruelty becomes order.
Yep, it makes so much sense, dude. And the tower obviously is the home of the God Emperor himself.
Yep, XCV.
Yep. All
Then let's see
right.
what it says on Genius.
Good old genius. Yep.
There we go. Ring 1 is the centerpiece of Antimai, the tower. An immensely tall structure, it's a sight to behold for any and all who see it from any of the other rings, as it literally towers over the entire city, representing the enormous gap of power between he who resides in the tower and everyone else. The tower is home to the God Emperor of Antimai, currently XCV, praise in his number. From there he reigns supreme, and his word is law.
Just like the executive, just like the presidents, just like the monarchies, man. They're basically the ruling fist. Now, obviously, I would get a little more into it, but I don't need to get any more hate than I already gotten.
Yeah.
And so it was like one of the pigs, three different ones, the politician on Pink Floyd's Animals, right? And obviously, it's we all know that the presidents, that all the executives, pretty much do whatever, and they get away with all their shit, right?
Yeah.
And I think, in addition to a certain individual here, there is also another good example, and that's Vladimir Putin too.
Yep.
I'm wondering how many crimes he's committed. and
A lot.
and the fact that he's a former KGB spy, dude, it's terrifying.
Yep.
But he looks so normal, dude, and that's what the scary part is.
All right. The lyrics go up. What a wonderland. Watching them bend to my demands. That's too much power for one man, is what they all say if they don't understand. That you're never getting to tower unless you're coming from tower. So the only way to get to tower is by being born in the tower.
Yeah, like if you marry, let's say you go back to the woman who the daughter would be married into the next ring or whatnot, and let's say if she was in ring 3 and she married into tower, right? And then the only way you get into tower is if you were born from tower, right?
Yeah,
So
you can marry into luxury, but I don't think you can marry into the tower.
yeah. Well, I mean, unless if the God Emperor had his own sex scandal that he could get away with if he wanted to, you know.
All right.
You must bear me a son, so that he could be born in the tower. Go
Excuse me.
ahead.
I can level any landscape. In fact, there's little left to give me more joy. From peaks to valleys, boulevards to alleys. Why waste my time trying to be a diplomat when I deliver pain? And there's nothing that compares to how good it feels to be the one to push the domino. What's beneath it? What's ahead? No matter the path won't wrap around till long after I'm dead, and one truth remains that you'll not gain any power unless you're starting with power, and you're not starting with power unless you come from tower.
Yep, relating back to you cannot. The only way you can get into tower is if you're from tower. So
Yep. Why do you feel your world is safe? I was bred behind a barricade. One by one, we must accept our fate. Mine was rising up to dominate. And who was the first to make all the world ask why? They turned to any reply we tried. Love failed, unable to change their minds, so fear prevailed and took control. Why would the emperor need new clothes if he keeps the people indisposed? They are blessed, they even get to see him. The world will never be the same, so line up and praise his name. Oh, so lucky you get to live beneath him.
that's very cult-like right there.
Yep. And it goes on, life is a dream, life is a dream.
And it says it for a lot of times here.
Yeah, and then it goes, life is a dream, and you're mine. Yeah, you're mine. You're in mine. Life is a dream. Life is a dream. But oh, what a nightmare I could provide you. Me on a bad day, you in a bad way. And without a warning, I'll put you in mourning. When the light in you dims down, I'll blot the sun out.
What a nightmare I could provide you. That is so relatable.
Why are the emperors in repose, like all the people can be disposed? Fact or fiction, if you've never seen them. The world is only made more insane when the helpless many praise the names of the very ones who want us stuck beneath them. And that's it.
Yeah, dude. Facts are fiction if you've never seen them. That's like pretty much them spinning the narrative that they want us to hear. You know?
Then another important thing, 18 hours ago on their Instagram, they posted a countdown of 7 days. So in 7 days, I think they'll probably be releasing like a single and an announcement of when their next album, Sunya, will come out. And Sunya is a continuation of the storyline of Antimai.
Okay, so once that comes, will you let us know about it?
Yeah, yeah, I will.
Alrighty, we'll keep that in mind going forward, ladies and gentlemen. So keep an eye out for that as well. Well, if once anything happens, we will let you guys know immediately on that. So, okay. That being said, the songs for what can I say about this album, my man? The music sounded way too positive, but the lyrics were not positive. Like, dude, you could have honestly, dude. For me, Deer Hunter, if they would have made their sound harrowing like for Pink Floyd's Animals or Radiohead's OK Computer, I would have given this album a 10 out of 10. But I can't give it any more than 8. And it's mainly
I
because of
think
the
I'd give it like a
positivity of the music.
9.2.
Huh?
I'd give it a 9.2.
Yeah. And the reason I say 8 is because like the music was way too positive, even for something too depressing, dude. Like I said, dude, if Casey Crescenzo honestly would have made the music more harrowing and sinister, dude, I would have given this a 10 out of 10, man. I really liked this album. I really did. And the music,
I'm really looking forward to Sonya. Sonya is going to be even better.
the songs, dude, were all the songs, dude, I have on the same level, dude. So I can't choose what my most favorite one is. They're all just that good.
Yeah.
I can't really choose one, man. Like, I'm stumped. I'm stumped. All right, so is that it, man? Are we all finished here now?
Yep, that's it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in. Give the album a listen, man. The link to the album will be in the description below. I will also include that short film so you guys can know what you're in for. It's a good short film, I think. Be sure if you guys have any other topics that you want us to talk about, or are you Deer Hunter fans, let us know in the comments below. Also, subscribe to the Interrobang group as well, and go follow me on all my social media. The links to all of that will be in the description below. Aegis, you got any final thoughts?
No, I got nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching today's episode. And as always, until next time, ta-ta for now!
Peace.